Hi, I'm Ric Ross, and I've collected Frank Sinatra material for over 60 years. My Sinatra archive is the largest collection of Sinatra materials relating to his career outside of perhaps what the family might own. This collection demonstrates and illustrates what Sinatra was all about. The collection contains every commercial recording released in the United States and many released throughout the world, sheet music issued in this country and different parts of the world. I have photographs covering Sinatra's career from 1935 all the way through the many years that he appeared. Motion pictures, televisions, radio shows, movie posters, programs from special events, personal appearances in the tens of thousands that are included in the collection. I have a detailed calendar that I put together beginning in September of 1935 and going through the mid-'80s of everything he did as a professional entertainer. It donates what he was doing at a given point in time, whether it was a radio show or a recording session or a TV show or a movie that he was appearing in. And then I've got what he sang on the radio shows. As to the recordings, I have information on all of the individual musicians that appeared on all of the recording dates throughout his career. In 1988, I was interviewed by the Los Angeles Times about my archive, and Sinatra responded that Ric Ross knows more about Sinatra and my career than I do. Quite an accolade to receive from the man himself. The archive consists of a lot of rare and unusual items. There's a 1963 recording of the song California that Governor Brown then asked him to record. He had Sammy Cahn and Jimmy Van Heusen write original words and music for that recording. And during the process of putting together the album, The Concert Sinatra, Frank recorded California, and it was limited pressed and sent out to just friends. And then later in '66, when Governor Brown ran for re-election, it was sent out as a campaign song for Governor Brown. And having a copy of that is very rare and unusual. Here in this country, 78 RPM records were pretty much on their way out in the late 50s when stereo took hold. There was the LP and the 45s. And yet in Brazil, in the early 60s, they released a 78 of Frank Sinatra singing Everybody's Twistin', which is part of my collection and is very unusual. The inaugural event for John Kennedy was recorded on January 19th, 1961, and copies of the record were given to performers that appeared on the gala, and I have a copy of the two-record set. That's very rare and unusual. Frank Sinatra's very first commercial recording was released on the Brunswick label in 1939, entitled From the Bottom of My Heart, and the flip side is Melancholy Mood. I had looked for that record for approximately 10 years, and I was driving down the street in Los Angeles, and I saw a sign in the window, 78's 10 for $1. And there was the mint recording of the very first Frank Sinatra recording that I paid a nickel for. People find that very hard to believe, considering how difficult that is to find, especially since it was only released on 78. I have copies of his appearance as an artist on his 21st birthday at a Garfield fire station on December 12, 1936, where he sang as part of the boys' choir at a minstrel show as a fundraiser for his dad's fire station. There's a comic book that came out in July of 1944 with the life story of Frank Sinatra. During the mid to late 50s, Sinatra was named most popular jazz vocalist by the Playboy magazine. And there were memorabilia items sent to Sinatra in recognition of that fact, and they're one-of-a-kind pieces. Some of the personal things that he gave away, like handkerchiefs, he would give away to ladies at his personal appearances when they would bring him flowers. Included in the collection are a number of items of apparel, tour jackets that were given to his crew, and those are special and one-of-a-kind items. It just goes on and on and on. It's very emotional because some items took me a great deal of time to accumulate. I've collected this vast amount of material relating to Frank Sinatra's career for over 60 years. And I'd like to find an institution or an individual that would preserve and protect and perpetuate the collection from now on for the history of popular music and the importance of Sinatra's impact on it. It's the essence of the career of a 20th century icon, and I hope that it's preserved and protected for future generations.